Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing another movie review for you all. This movie is a horror film from Australia, English language, released in the year 2022, directed by Kane Senez and Hannah Barlow, and this film is called Sissy. So Sissy is about Cecilia. Her nickname is Sissy. When she was very young, she had a best friend that she did absolutely everything with. They promised never to leave each other, but unfortunately a catastrophic event occurred that forced the two to separate. So fast forward many years, Cecilia is now a young adult and she's a social media influencer. She specialises in meditation, positive reinforcement, and making the world a better place. So she's very popular, has a lot of followers, and she seems to be creating a living out of this. And so it appears that everything is going very, very well. But then one day she runs into her old best friend in the supermarket. Now the old best friend is actually getting married very soon, and so she invites Cecilia on an all-girls weekend in the remote countryside to celebrate the up-and-coming event. So Cecilia doesn't want to at first, but then she realises this is the chance to rekindle that special friendship, so she accepts. They travel out to the countryside, but this is where Cecilia realises that there's another person at this getaway that is linked to her past, linked to her troubled past. And the longer that Cecilia stays in her company, the more the situation threatens to spiral out of control, resulting in catastrophic consequences. And so what those consequences are is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Sissy. I come into this movie absolutely expecting to hate it. It's a social media sort of horror film, a teen horror film, and it's an Australian horror film. Now, I'm a very patriotic individual, but when it comes to Australian horror, they aren't really known for their consistency. And so I just thought, when I saw the trailer, I thought, all right, well, this doesn't look very good. Apparently, it's actually shot in my city of Canberra, so that was the only incentive to go and watch it. Are there going to be moments where I could actually recognise a place that this movie is shot in? And so I thought, all right, well, why not give this a go? Hopefully, it won't be as bad as I'm expecting. And after watching the movie, I was surprised at how entertaining this movie was and how actually competently made this film is. And so this movie really works for three main reasons, and these three main reasons all work very well with each other to create one of the most satisfyingly dark experiences that I've had in a very, very long time. The first element is Cecilia, played very well by Alicia Dee. It's a very likeable character, a very beautiful character, but a very beautiful soul as well. And so it's already a very sympathetic and relatable individual. This is a movie about the effects of bullying, and so the past and the brief flashbacks that Cecilia has, the more you start to like her, and the more you start to believe that this is a series of just catastrophic events that have gone out of control. You don't necessarily see Cecilia as a bad person at any stage of this movie. It's just those situations that just spiral well out of control, and it's basically that domino effect of one bad thing happening after another. So Cecilia, that first element really worked. You have a very strong driving force in the movie that a lot of movies out there of similar nature fail to really achieve. The second element, you have insufferable characters. The side characters were very, very unlikable. They were despicable. They were stereotypical sort of influencer, full of themselves, arrogant, think they know everything that is going on and that they're superstars. Now, that would be a problem. You think to yourself, all right, you have insufferable characters that are incredibly annoying. Why did that really work? And the reason why it works is because of the third element, and the third element is the level of nastiness that this movie has that makes the violence very cathartic, very therapeutic, and that therapeutic violence comes through in a very entertaining way and a darkly funny way as well. So the movie is serving these characters up on a plate, and you're just relishing the really horrible things that are happening, but at the same time the main character Cecilia stays on that certain level of innocence that I thought, all right, well, this is more of a movie about uncontrolled sort of situations as opposed to a standard sort of a slasher type of film. And so all three of those elements really work very, very well, and then you get a movie that is just highly entertaining and as I said, surprisingly nasty. Now the production of this film is absolutely fantastic. Cinematography is very colourful, very vibrant, but you have a soundtrack that's very quirky, and it almost felt like a Spierig Brothers film. If you've seen the Spierig Brothers film Undead, you've got the soundtrack that is very quirky that almost takes it into a different dimension. It's almost like a dream world, and I thought the way that this movie is shot had that very quirky style to it. So it's a style that is very unique to itself, and I thought that was really well done as well. And so you have really nasty violence, but it's done in a way that's elevated because it feels like a different dimension. It feels like a stylized, cartoonish sort of experience, but it's an experience that I thought took turns that a lot of Australian horror films fail to do because they're scared. They don't want to break those boundaries as far as acceptability is concerned because they want to flesh it out to a wider audience. Whereas this film, it does have that that teenage sort of feel, but the violence I thought hits on another level, and it just plays really well off those insufferable characters because they're cannon fodder. They're vessels of destruction that you just want to see destroyed, and when you see them destroyed, you feel, okay, that's exactly what I want. So good, very good kills. Some very darkly funny kills, but as I said, it's all basically victim of a whole situation, and so it's a different style of horror film. I'm not going to give anything away, but when you see the film, you'll know what I mean, is that it does take a turn that is very nasty, but at the same time, never taking itself too seriously to truly disturb you. And I thought the end of this movie was absolutely fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I'm sure a lot of people out there will love it just as much as I did, which I thought was a really good way to cap off what was a very surprising movie. If I have issues with the film, it's not a movie that's going to last the test of time as far as being a brilliant film, but it wants to be entertaining, and I definitely feel as though Sissy really struck that very well. These three elements of a very likeable, very strong main character, insufferable characters that are lambs to the slaughter, to the nastiness of the movie, and the quirky sort of an environment and world that these directors managed to creates a little horror film that I thought had a nasty bite, and it's definitely going to surprise a lot of people. And so it's an Australian horror film that works, and for that I'm going to give Sissy 3.5 stars. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.